So it's only right that I order coffee. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video today. Wait, I feel like I'm about to fall off my stool. Okay, today we are filming a 23 books that I want to read in 2023. And yes, I know this video is usually done at the beginning of the year, but I was not posting at the beginning of the year, so we're doing it now. But needless to say, I've chosen 23 books that I for sure like really want to get into this year. And most of these books are first books that are in series, so I didn't count like the entire series or that was going to eat up the 23 books. But needless to say, I at least want to read the first book in the series and then possibly, hopefully, can finish them this year. Some of them are large series, so we will see. But anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna not talk for 10 plus minutes and we're gonna get into the video. So let's get a brain fart. Just let's get into the video. I have a cart full of books, so we're just going to go through them. They are in no particular order. They are just stacked on this cart and we're gonna hope that it works out. So first book is Feel the Fire by Christina and Becca Ritchie. So, well, Krista and Becca Ritchie. I don't know why I want to say Christina, but this book is part of the Calloway Sister series, and it also goes with the Addicted series, but you can read them, I think you can read them as two separate series, but this is the first book in that Calloway Sister series, and this is one that I really want to read. I have heard so much about just both series in general, and a lot of people say it's like their comfort series, so I'm very excited. I know that the Addicted series is about two people that basically have addictions, and I think they're supposed to kind of help each other fight those addictions. I don't know, we'll see, we'll find out later. But I can read the synopsis of each book so you guys can just kind of know what they're about. So Fuel the Fire is protect your family at all costs. It'll take the impossible to hurt Connor Cobalt even for a moment. Protect your family at all costs. At 26, his narcissistic tendencies have made room for people he loves, and he loves Rose, but when his love is threatened, when his greatest dreams with her are compromised, what is the cost of them? Love will guide his choices for the first time in his life. So, and it just continues to say protect your family at all costs, like throughout each sentence. But needless to say, this sounds very interesting. I love how like the guy like isn't expected to like fall hard, or like he's not this like sentimental like romantic guy. And I just love books that like where the guy like just falls hard. Like I love them. So the next book, well, I actually did include both books in this series just because there are only two books in this series, but it's The Vow of Thieves and Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. And I have heard so much about these books. Yes, I am the person that buys the book, like the entire series, without reading the first book. But in my brain, it's just like, what if I like the first book and then like I immediately want to start the second one? Like I have to have them ready, especially like these covers. I love the covers, so that's another reason why I just bought both of them. But yes, I think this one, okay, this is the first, no, Dance of Thieves is the first one. So we'll read. So a stunning new adventure set in the kingdom of the Remnant. A formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power, three fierce young women of the Ratan, the Queen's premier guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself, a dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse game of false moves ensures, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. So that's what this one's about. But let's read the second one. That sounds very interesting. I kind of don't really remember what I just read already, but it sounds interesting. And so it's a duology. So the second, it says, I think it's Casey and Jace have survived stronger and more in love than ever. Their new life now lies before them. The Ballingers will be outlaws no longer. Tor's Watch will be a kingdom, and Kazi and Jace will meet all challenges side by side together at last. But an ominous warning mars their journey back, and they soon find themselves tangled in a web of deceit, woven by their greatest enemies and unlikeliest allies. A place where betrayals run deeper and more deadly than either had thought possible, and where timeless ambitions threaten to destroy them both. I think this one actually sounds more interesting to me, probably because it talks about, like, obviously the romance, and this one more is like, it's obviously like maybe they meet each other in this book is what I'm assuming, and then this one probably really like elaborates on their romance. But needless to say, like I said, I've heard so many good things about these books, so I am definitely excited to read these two. Hopefully probably before summer. I think I want to read those two. So Magnolia Parks, guys, this universe, I have heard so much about this universe. So the first time I ever heard about it was actually from the YouTuber Rachel Catherine, and I think that's how you say her name. But yes, I bought them immediately once I like saw her video about them. And what I hear people say, like, this is a lot like Gossip Girl, and there's a lot of drama. So if this is not like, if you don't like drama in books and things, I don't think they recommend for you to read this book. But I love that kind of stuff in books, obviously not in real life, so I am all for it. There's actually 4 books in this world. You have Magnolia Parks, and you also have Daisy Hates. So there's 2 books of Magnolia Parks and 2 books of Daisy Hates, but they are all together in like 4 books, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's not a synopsis on the back, is there? Let's see. I don't know if there's something on the inside. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh wow. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, there's nothing. Oh wait, maybe this is okay. I think it's in the front. So let's see. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? How many people do you get to call yours? There are all sorts of loves in this world. Not all of them, but most of them are beautiful. Some are old, some noble, some brave. Others are dishonorable and weak and make you so by association. Some are low whisper on a somber night. Some are maddening. Some you can't ignore. They slow burn inside of you, never quite going out completely, but you're too scared to dare try to fan that flame. Some loves you pretend you don't feel, even when you can, even when you know you do, even if he's the first thing you think of in the morning, even if he's like a match in the darkened room of your heart, because loving something how you love him is a painful love that puts rocks in your pockets and in your eyeballs. And if time has taught you anything, it's that it doesn't matter. You'll love him forever anyway. So this is all romance, and I'm so ready for it. I cannot wait to read this series. So that's book number 4. Like I said, I've heard so many good things about that book, and I've just seen so many posts, so many reviews. Like, I'm just so ready. But the next book is a summer book. Well, I mean, you can read it anytime, but it has summer in the title, and it like is definitely on my list to read over the summer. But it's The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I really do not like these stickers, and I just like, why do they put it on the front cover? I will never understand why they put it on the front cover. But needless to say, yes, this book I have heard so much about. This is actually, there's 3 books in this series, and this is the first one. The next 2 are It's Not Summer Without You and We'll Always Have Summer, which I probably will try to read all 3 over the summer, because I mean they're pretty small books. They're only if there's page numbers, where's the page numbers? Oh gosh, there are no, oh okay, I was gonna say, are there no page numbers? Let's see, looks like no more than 300 pages. That's the last page I saw was 273, but there's like more pages that's not numbered. But yeah, the back says, when each summer begins, Belly leaves her school life behind and escapes to Cousins Beach, the place she spent every summer of her life. Not only does the beach house mean home away from home, but her favorite people were there: Susanna, her mother's best friend, and her sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. Belly has been chasing Conrad for as long as she can remember, and more than anything, she hopes this summer will be different. Despite distractions from a new guy named Cam and lingering books from Conrad's brother, Jeremiah, Belly's heart belongs to Conrad. Will he offer his to her? Will this be the summer that everything changes? And I think this is a young adult book. It definitely sounds like it too. So it just seems like a really cute like summer read. It kind of reminds me of Every Summer After, and I absolutely love that book. That book was like so cute. I mean, there wasn't anything like really just truly sad in it. It was just like a really, I love like childhood lovers or childhood friends to lovers, so this kind of gives me those kind of vibes. So I'm excited for that one. So we have, oh my gosh, this is a very thick book, and I have heard the font, yeah, the font is very small. I've heard so many people say the font is very small in this book, so, and I'm seeing that, like, it's very small font. Oh gosh. But this book is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, and once again, a lot of these books on this list are books I want to read because I've seen so many reviews and so many good things said about them. So yes, there's 3 books in this series. You have Binding 13, Keeping 13, and then there's 2 savings. I think one is Saving 6. I don't remember the other one, but yeah, I am excited to read this one. I do have the 4th one is not out yet, and I think that's the Saving 6. Or one of the savings, like I said, I can't remember. But yes, I am so excited to read this one. I really hope I like it. I've seen some mixed reviews, but more I've seen good reviews. And so we'll just go ahead and read the synopsis. So Johnny Kavanaugh has everything going for him on the rugby's pitch. He's a force to be reckoned with, primed for stardom. He's heading straight for the top. Nothing can possibly get in his way, right? Not even the shy new girl at Tolman College, the one with the sad eyes and hidden bruises, the one that distracts him like no one ever has. Plagued by a hidden injury and desperate to impress the scouts watching his every move, Johnny has been placed on a pedestal so high he has no room to make mistakes. Striving to maintain balance and on the crest of the international summer campaign, Johnny needs to keep his head in the game. He needs to stay focused and cannot afford to let distractions get in the way of the bigger picture. But what happens when a lonely girl with sad eyes becomes the only picture? And life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. Bullied and tortured, she arrives at Tolman College midway through the school year, praying for a fresh start and desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. On her very first day at the prestigious private school, she comes into contact with the notorious Johnny Kavanaugh. Thrown through a hoop over her feelings for him and desperate to keep a low profile, Shannon finds herself once again the target of bullies as she forms a fragile alliance with rugby's rising star. Falling into a complicated friendship and grappling with their undeniable chemistry, Johnny and Shannon must face obstacles that threaten their relationship. 2 teenagers from opposite sides of the tracks collide. And friendship, first love, rising fame, horrifying secrets, and pain all feel together in Binding 13. So, sounds like an emotional roller coaster. I haven't seen many people, have I seen people say they've like cried? Maybe, I don't know, but I'm excited for this one. I'm excited. Like I said, it's thick in the font is very small, so that kind of makes me a little scared, but I have heard so many good things, so yes. Next we have a Sophie Lark book. So this one is called Savage Lover. This is actually part of a series as well. I don't know what the series title is. I think this is The Brutal Birthright, or maybe, yes, okay, yes, it's part of a Brutal Birthright series, a dark mafia romance. This is actually says book 3 in the series, maybe, if that's right. Okay, yeah, so Brutal Prince is the first one, which that's on my bookshelf, but I guess I grabbed this one. But yes, the first one I want to read is Brutal Prince. So I won't read the synopsis on this one just because it's not the first one in the book, so I don't want to possibly ruin anything that is supposed to be in the first book. But yeah, this is I think there's 6 books in this series, and so I do want to at least read like the first 2 or 3 this year, so hopefully I can do that. I've heard so many good things about Sophie Lark, and this series is one I like really see a lot. In the I think it's the Matchmaker series, I've seen that one a lot also, but I really want to try to get to this one this year. So I'm Addicted to You. So like I said, we talked about the Calloway Sister series. So this one is the first book in the Addicted series, and you guys, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Like, I've just heard so many things about this book, and like when I first started getting back into reading, I ordered this whole series, and I don't know why I have not picked it up yet. I truly do not know, but I'm ready. It's time. And so it just says 2 best friends, liars, lovers, addicts, one epic love story. And so, okay, so she's addicted to sex, he's addicted to booze. The only way out is rock bottom. No one would suspect Shy Lily Calloway's biggest secret. While everyone is dancing at college bars, Lily stays in the bathroom to get laid. Her compulsion leads her to one-night stands, steamy hookups, and events she shamefully regrets. The only person who knows her secret happens to have one of his own. Lauren Hill's best friend is his bottle of bourbon. Lily comes a close second. For 3 years, they pretended to be in a real relationship, hiding their addictions from their families. They've mastered the art of concealing flasks and random guys who filter in and out of their apartment. But as they sink beneath the weight of their addictions, they cling harder to their destructive relationship and wonder if a life together for real is better than a lie. Strangers and family begin to infiltrate their guarded lives and their new challenges. They realize they may not be addicted to just alcohol and sex. Their real vice may be each other. Do I need to say more? This book sounds phenomenal. I cannot wait, and the fact that it's part of a series just makes it even better, because it doesn't end after this. There's more and there's more and there's more, so I cannot wait for that. Next we have another duology, so more Sophie Lark. So this one is There Are No Saints and There Is No Devil. I think these are actually on Kindle Unlimited also, but the covers, like, they just go so well together. Like, whoever did these covers, like, are phenomenal. I just really like them. But these are other these are 2 other books that are on my 23 books for 2023. There Are No Saints is first, and then There Is No Devil is second, I believe. So we'll read the back of both. So Cole Blackwell values control. He's the hottest sculptor in San Francisco, wealthy, successful, and respected. His only weakness is the dark impulse he carefully conceals. Mara Eldridge is a nobody, broken, damaged. She works 3 jobs while creating paintings no one will ever see. A chance encounter throws Mara into Cole's path. When Mara escapes what appears to be certain death, Cole is intrigued. He starts stalking her, realizing there's more to the struggling misfit than he ever would have guessed. Cole becomes obsessed with Mara, breaking the rules that keeps his true nature hidden. Mara knows he's dangerous, but Cole is the only person who's ever recognized her talent. Cole is teaching Mara to get what she wants. What does he want in return? We love a stalker. We love a stalker in books. Let me clarify that. We love a stalker in books. And so the next one, Cole and Mara's Cole and Mira's relationship has grown to consume them both. Cole is experiencing emotions he's never known, while Mira blossoms into a successful artist, shaking off the trauma of her youth. For the first time in both their lives, they might actually be happy, but the past has a long shadow. Alastor Shaw is the beast of the bay, a frenzy killer who once hoped to share his hunting ground with Cole. When he realizes the cold-hearted Cole has fallen in love, he plans to destroy him using Mira as his weapon. Cole will do anything to protect Mira, but is Mira strong enough to protect herself? So, oh my gosh, I'm so ready. If I could just like stop what I'm doing like for like a good month and just read these books, I would. Like, these books sound amazing. Like, I cannot wait. And so next we have Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I'm not gonna try that because I don't want to butcher it even more. But this is part of a trilogy. There's 3 books. So you have Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Feared, and what is the other one? Kingdom of the Cursed. That's the other one. So I know why, Jasmine, you have to talk. So the one thing that I've heard, I know there's witches involved, and I think one is murdered and she tries to find, like, get vengeance for her sister. Well, yeah, there's definitely a murder. So it says 2 sisters, 1 brutal murder, a quest for vengeance that has unleashed hell itself in an intoxicating romance. We love a good romance. So Amelia and her twin sister Victoria are stray witches who live secretly among humans, avoiding notice and persecution. One night, Victoria misses dinner service at the family's renowned restaurant in Sicily. Amelia soon finds the body of her beloved twin, desecrated beyond belief. Devastated, Amelia sets out to find her sister's killer and to seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means using dark magic that has been long forbidden. When Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked, who are princes of hell she has been warned against in tales since she was a child, Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, tasked by his master with solving a series of women's murders on the island. But when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. So I feel like I've heard that so many times. That's probably why I knew exactly what this book would be about. But yeah, it sounds very, very interesting. It's obviously fantasy, and I love fantasy with romance. Like, I mean, it's romance. Like, how could you not love it? So yeah, hopefully I get to read all 3. They're not like super big fantasy books, which is a really good thing. They're only 372 pages, and that's actually 369 pages because that was the acknowledgments. But yes, I am so excited to try this one, or to read this one. Like but yeah, we'll see. I will definitely probably do a reading vlog if I like try to just read all 3 series. I mean, all 3 books in the series at once, or like throughout like a week times. I just feel like my camera always cuts off. I think it stops at a certain time point. But yes, I am planning to probably do a reading vlog with this one and the other 2 books in the series. So I'm excited for that, and I hope you guys are too. Next we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So I think I said that right. First of all, I really love this cover, like, and it just feels like the texture, it just feels so nice. But this is also part of a duology. The other one is Hellbent, and that came out this year, I think, or early or late last year. I think it was this year though. So I do want to read that one also, but since this is the first one, I definitely want to read this one. But it says the mesmerizing adult debut from, oh, that's just, okay, no. So Galaxy Alex Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class. Raised in the Los Angeles hinterlands by a hippie mom, Alex drops out of school early and into a world of shady drug dealer boyfriends, dead-end jobs, and much, much worse. In fact, by age 20, she is the sole survivor of a horrific unsolved multiple homicide. Some might say she's thrown her life away, but at her hospital's bedside, Alex is offered a second chance to attend one of the world's most prestigious universities on a full ride. What's the catch, and why her? Still searching for answers, Alex arrives in New Haven, tasked by her mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of Yale's secret societies. The 8 windowless tombs are the well-known haunts of the rich and powerful, from high-ranking politics to Wall Street's biggest players. But their occult activities are more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. So this is very, very dark. So we will see. I would say this is probably definitely out of my comfort zone. So we will see. But like I said, I've heard so many things about this book. It definitely sounds interesting, but like I said, it's definitely out of my comfort zone. So we will see how that one goes. Marriage for One by Ella Mays. I really want the other cover that this one has. I bought this one a while back, and I've been seeing like the cover with like the cute spine, and I really want that one and I cannot find it. So if you guys know where you can buy that, let me know in the comments. This one says, Jack and I, we did everything backward. The day he lured me into his office, which was the first day we met, he proposed. Oh wow. You think a guy who looked like him, a bit cold maybe, but still striking and very unattainable, will only ask the love of his life to marry him, right? You think he must be madly in love. Nope, it was me he asked, a complete stranger who had never even heard of him, a stranger who had been dumped by her fiance only weeks before. You think I laugh in his face, call him insane and a few other names, then walk away as quickly as possible. Well, I did all those things except the walking away part. It took him only minutes to talk me into a business deal. I mean marriage, and only days for us to officially tie the knot. Happiest day of my life. Magical, pop the champagne. Not, it was the worst day. Jack Hawthorne was nothing like what I imagined for myself. I blamed him for my lapse in judgment. I blamed his eyes, the ocean blue eyes that looked straight into mine unapologetically. And that frown on his face I had no idea I would become so fascinated with in time. It wasn't long after he said I was the biggest mistake of his life and that things started to change. No, he didn't talk much, but anyone can string a few words together. His actions spoke the loudest to me, and day after day my heart started to get a mind of its own. One second he was no one, the next he became everything. One second he was unattainable, the next he seemed to be completely mine. One second I thought we were in love, the next it was still nothing but a lie. After all, I was Rose and he was Jack. We were doomed from the very beginning with those names. Did you expect anything else? So I wonder why he like asked her to marry him. Why he asked her to marry him. Yeah. Is this like fake dating, or no? Well, a fake marriage. Is it a marriage of convenience? I'm ready. This one. Okay, I am ready. Actually, I have actually 2 books by Christina Lauren. So this one is the Honeymooners, and then my favorite Half Night Stand. I haven't read anything by them. I do have a few books by them, but these 2 are definitely like my top 2 that I want to read. And then I do want to read Love in Other Words, but that's actually, I'm reading that for something else, so that's why that's not in this list. But these are the 2 other books I really want to read this year. So for the Honeymooners, it says Olive Torres is used to being the unlucky twin with inexplicable mishaps to a recent layoff. Her life seems to be almost comically jinxed. By contrast, her sister Amy is an eternal champion. She managed to finance her entire wedding by winning a slew of contests. Unfortunately for Olive, the only thing worse than constant bad luck is having to spend the wedding day with the best man and her nemesis, Ethan Thomas. Olive braces herself for wedding hell, determined to put on a brave face, but when the entire wedding party gets food poisoning, the people who aren't affected are Olive and Ethan. Suddenly there's a free honeymoon up for grabs. And Olive will be damned if Ethan gets to enjoy paradise solo. Agreeing to a temporary truce, the pair head for Maui. After all, 10 days of bliss are worth having to assume the role of loving newlyweds, right? But the weird thing is, Olive doesn't mind playing pretend. In fact, the more she pretends to be the luckiest woman alive, the more it feels like she might be. I cannot wait. This sounds so interesting. which I mean, I've already heard so many things about it, so this is why I chose to like want to read it. But yes, oh my gosh, my battery's about to die. This sounds very good. I wonder if they like, I wonder if Olive and Ethan actually end up together. Like, I want to know what happens. And so the next one, my favorite half night stand. So it says, Millie Morris has always been one of the guys, a UC Santa Barbara professor. She's terrible at getting personal, and she, just like her 4 best guy friends and fellow professors, is perma single. So when a university function turns into a black tie gala, Millie and her circle makes a pact that they'll join an online dating service to find +1s. But here's a hitch. After making the pact, Millie and one of the guys, Reed Campbell, secretly spend the sexiest night of their lives together, but decide they will be better off platonic. Online dating isn't for the faint of heart. While the guys are inundated with quality matches, Millie's first profile garners nothing but dick pics. Enter Catherine. Millie's fictional persona is whose shoes she can be more vulnerable than she's ever been in person. Catherine and Reed strike up a digital pen palship, but Millie can't resist temptation in her real life either. Soon, Millie will have to face her worst fear, intimacy, or risk losing her best friend. I did not really think this was that spicy. The title, I mean, we'll find out. I'm ready to read it though. It sounds very interesting, and hopefully I get to read them this year, since I think I will though. Next we have Lessons in Chemistry. So this was a book of the year at Barnes and Noble, and I've heard so many good things about this book. I don't know if there's a, here we go. So it says, children set the table, your mother needs a moment. Children set the table, your mother needs a moment to herself. Chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing as an average woman. But it's the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute takes a very unscientific view of equality, except for one, Calvin Evans, the only brilliant Nobel Prize nominated grudge holder who falls in love with all things her mind. True chemistry results. Like science, though, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later, Elizabeth Zott finds herself not a single mother, but also the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Super at 6. Elizabeth's unusual approach to cooking proves revolutionary, but as her following grows, not everyone is happy, because as it turns out, Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. Laugh out loud, funny, shrewdly observant, and studied with the dazzling cast of supporting characters, Lessons in Chemistry is as original and vibrant as its protagonist. So I am so ready to read this. This is definitely, when I picked this up, I did not know what to expect out of this book. But when I walked into Barnes and Noble and it was like book of the year, I was like, well, it wouldn't be right for me to not indulge, to not, you know, try it out. So I may even try the audiobook of this. I think there's an audiobook of it already. So I may even do that. But needless to say, I am determined to get to this one this year. And then next we have The Stolen Heir. Here we go with the Target stickers again. But this is by Holly Black. And I have a few of her books that I have not read yet. So if I read this one first, if I read this one before I read the other ones, this will be my first book by her. But I seen so many good things about this. It was pretty big when, like, I heard a lot of it when it was released, I think earlier this year. So, but it says, I squat on the other side of the prince, worried I'm going to do something wrong. Oak's gaze slants to me as with fumbling fingers I try to work off the scale mill where it was struck to his wound. He makes a soft huff of pain, and I can see the way his lips are white at the edges from being pressed together as he bites back whatever other sounds he wants to make. Underneath, his stained linen shirt is pushed up over the flat plane of his stomach, the dip of his hip bones. His sweat carries the scent of crushed grass, but mostly he smells like blood. He watches me, lashes low over his eyes. Without his golden armor, he almost looks like the boy I remember. So this sounds, as I keep saying for every book, but it sounds very interesting. I cannot wait to read it. Like I said, this will be the first book that I read by her, but I do have other of her books, and I've heard really good things about her writing. So, and it's not like too like thick of a book. It's only 352 pages, 352. So hopefully I can get this in like 3 days. So yes, I am very excited for that one. Next we have the Myfolk series. I have seen so much about this book, and I know it's like 5 books. So yeah, series 1, books 1 through 5. There's 5 books in the series, and I cannot wait. I'm so sorry, that beeping in the background is my very rude dryer that just decides to let me know that my clothes are dry. Thank you very much, dryer. But yes, I have seen so many good things about this book. I think Sarah Caroli, she talked about this book at one point, and I was like, okay, I definitely need to read this book. So it's definitely a thick one. It's very thick. And like I said, there's actually 5 books in here. So I think each book is obviously nowhere near, is like very small, but yeah, since there are 5 books, I don't know, do you count this as one book when you read it, or is it 5 books added to your book count? Let me know what you guys think. Does it count as like a total of 5 books when I add it to my Goodreads, or will it only be 1 book? But let's read the back. It says, monsters can come in many forms. They took too much, left too little. I had nothing to lose until him. I didn't expect him. I didn't want to fall in love, but I can't let him go. Logan Bennett makes the world a safer place. He's brilliant. He's a hero. He locks away the sick and depraved. But while he's saving lives, I'm taking them, collecting the debts that are owed to me. 10 years ago, they took from me. They left me for dead. They should have made sure I stayed dead. Now I'm taking from them. One name at a time. I've trained for too long. I've been patient. I can't stop now. Revenge is best served cold. Love never sees me coming. Well, no, they never see me coming until I paint their walls red. Logan doesn't know how they hurt me. He doesn't know about the screams they ignored. He doesn't know how twisted the town really is. He just knows people are dying. He doesn't know he's in love with their killer. No one suspects a dead girl, and Logan doesn't suspect the girl in his bed. They're looking for a monster, not a girl who loves red, not a girl in love. I'm a faceless nightmare, at least until I tell them the story. They pretend it never happened, but in the end, will Logan choose them, or will he watch them burn together? Romance with a stabby twist. That sounds amazing. That sounds utterly amazing. I cannot wait to see how this turns out. Let me know if you guys have read this. Let me know what you guys rated it. I think I'm gonna end up rating this a 5 stars. I feel like this is gonna be a 5-star book for me. It's so different. I haven't read anything like this, and it seems like it's very manipulative, and it just seems like it's gonna be like a book that I can't put down. I get that from this book. Especially like, I really like the cover. It's just like, you would never expect this. Like, if you look at the cover, this is not what I just read, is not what you like think it's gonna be about. So next we have Devious Lies by Parker Huntington. So if you guys watched my 5-star reads video, you'll know I freaking loved Darling Venom. So it was only right that I picked up more books by her, and I cannot wait. I love her writing. I actually just read My Dark Romeo by her and LJ Sheehan, and I loved it. I rated that book 4 stars, I think. And it was so close to 5 stars. There were just a few things that I would have changed if I could have, but needless to say, I love her writing. I love her writing style. I love just like what her stories are about. Like, they're not like sappy romances. They always just hold like so much like angst, and like she just does romance so good. So let's read the back. So it says, she could enjoy her pretty perfect world a little longer. Soon enough, everything she owned will be mine. I had a plan to escape the friend zone. Step 1, sneak into Reed's room. Step 2, sleep with him. But when the lights turned on, it wasn't familiar blue eyes I saw. They were dark, angry, and full of demons, and they belonged to Reed's much older brother. 4 years later, Nash Prescott is no longer the Hope's angry son. I'm no longer the town's prized princess. At 22, I'm broke. I need a job. At 32, he's a billionaire in need of revenge. Who cares if my family ruined his? Who cares if he looks at me with pure loathing? Who cares if every task he assigns me is designed to torture? I need the money, simple as that. I'll suffer his cruelty in silence, knowing there's one thing he wants more than revenge: me. I just feel like Parker Huntington is just gonna do it again. I just feel like she's gonna just really put another book on my 5-star list. I love her writing so much. She's definitely like probably one of my auto-buy authors at this point. Like if she announces anything releasing, I'm getting it. Like no questions asked. I don't even have to read the back of the book to know I'm getting it. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I actually read my first Lynn Painter book on Valentine's Day. I read The Do-Over. I had made it a goal to read it on Valentine's Day, so I literally read that entire book. I was up way too late, but I was so determined, and I actually absolutely loved that book. And I hear Better Than the Movies is actually a lot of people's favorite. She also just released The Love Wager, which once this book buying ban is over with, I will be purchasing. But yes, I hear that people love this one more than they love The Do-Over. So I cannot wait to read this one. It seems like she does like really cute like romances, and I don't know, they're just such like they're kind of like a palate cleanser almost. Like you just kind of like, if you need like a comfort book, a book like if you're going through a reading slump and you just really need something that's like that's easy to read and that's gonna kind of get you just in the mood to read again, I think Lynn Painter is definitely one of those authors, from just everything I've heard and what I've read from her myself. So I am very excited to read Better Than the Movies. Like I said, I've heard so many great things about this book, and I just cannot wait to see what is in store. But it says, Liz Buchsbaum has always known that Wes Bennett was not boyfriend material. You would think that her next door neighbor would be a prime candidate for her romantic comedy fantasies, but Wes has only proven himself to be a pain in the butt ever since they were little. Wes was the kid who put a frog in her Barbie dream house, the monster who hid a long gnome served head in her little homemade neighborhood book exchange. Flash forward to the 10 years from the great oh my gosh, Desinvitation. It's Liz's senior year, a time meant to be rife with milestones, perfect for any big screen, and she needs Wes's help. See, Liz's forever crush, Michael, has just moved back to town, and horribly annoyingly, he's hitting it off with Wes, meaning that if Liz wants Michael to finally notice her and hopefully be her prom date, she needs Wes. He's her in. But as Liz and Wes scheme to get Liz her magical prom moment, she's shocked to discover what she actually likes being around. She's shocked to discover that she actually likes being around Wes. And as they continue to grow closer, she must re-examine everything she thought she knew about love and rethink her own perception of what happily ever after should really look like. I am getting tongue-tied from reading all these like synopsis, but this sounds so good. Like I said, it sounds like a perfect light read. Like if I'm ever in a reading slump, I feel like this will be the perfect book to just kind of help me get out of that, and for me to just really just feel like I want to devour a book again. So I cannot wait to read this one. Like I said, Lynn Painter, definitely have heard so many great things about her, and I feel like she's definitely probably going to be one of like my favorite authors. Like so far, like I said, I love The Do-Over. I rated that one 4.5 stars. It was kind of just like a Groundhog Day kind of book, so it just kept repeating Valentine's Day over and over. And yeah, like I said, I really love that book. So I highly think this book is gonna be amazing. So all right, we have 3 more books. So This is, you guys watched my 5-star reads video. Y'all know I love Sarah J Maas. I love Sarah J Maas so much. Like, she was my first fantasy book that I, like, the first fantasy author that I ever read, and I absolutely loved XIII. I have devoured the first 3 books in that series, and I cannot wait to read the last 2. I'm like trying to like not read them until I know when the next book is gonna come out, because when it comes to Sarah J Maas, her writing, I suffered the biggest book hangovers. Like, and when I read like XIII and then A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Silver Flames, I like spaced them out so I would not devour it so quickly. And every time I finished one book, it was just like so hard to want to pick up another book that wasn't by her. But I'm like really trying to make her books last, because the next book that comes out is the 3rd book in the Crescent City world, and that doesn't come out till 2024. So I don't know when we're gonna get another XIII book. I think it's gonna be after the next book in the Crescent City. So I like have to tread lightly when I'm like ready to pick up her books, because I could sit here and like read her books for a week and be highly content with that. So without me talking and rambling on more, one book I want to read by her for sure is The Throne of Glass, which I want to read this entire series, but I didn't want to put all the books in this video. But this is the first book of that series. I think Assassin's Blade, if I'm correct, I think you read it after Throne of Glass or you read it before Throne of Glass. There's just a lot of, like, I know there's 2 books that you read in tandem, so this series is definitely a lot, and I'm probably gonna just try to like do like a book a month, I think, because I would love to get through the series this year. This series is the one series that I did put on my list to try to complete this year, so I think I can do it. I really do think it's possible. And the books get thicker and thicker as the series goes on. Like, I think Kingdom of Ash is like 800 pages, I think. So yes, like I said, I am so excited to read this. I'm so excited to start it, and I just already know Sarah J Maas is just gonna blow my mind. Always does. She never fails. The last 2 books, we have more Sarah J Maas. So as I mentioned, the 3rd book in the Crescent City like world comes out beginning of 2024. So I just thought it was only right that I made sure I read both of these this year. And you guys, these books are thick. Do you guys see how thick these books are? I love it, but I'm also intimidated. I love it because that's just more I get to read from Sarah J Maas, but I'm intimidated because I'm like, how long is it gonna take me to read these books? Like, I mean, I devour her books pretty fast, but like, oh my gosh, I think this may be probably some of my thickest books that I own. I really do think so. But so here we have the first one. It's the House of Earth and Blood, and then we have the House of Sky and Breath. Cannot wait. I just realized I didn't read the synopsis of Throne of Glass. I can read that one after, but yes, these, I've heard so many great things about these books. So the first one, it says, bound by blood, tempted by desire, unleashed by destiny, half fae, half human, Bryce Quinlan loves her life. Every night is a party and Bryce is going to save her all the pleasures. Guys, when I tell you fantasy names, like, their names are so hard, so you guys are gonna have to forgive me for this, but Lunathion, also known as Crescent City, also has to offer, but then a brutal murder shakes the very foundations of the city and Bryce's world comes crashing down. 2 years later, Bryce still hunts the city's most notorious nightclub, seeking only oblivion now, trying to put the past behind her. When the murderer attacks again in an infamous fallen angel hunt, Athalar is assigned to watch her every footstep. Bryce knows she can't forget any longer. As Bryce and Hunt fight to unravel the mystery, the threads they tug ripple through the underbelly of the city, across warring continents, and down to the deepest levels of hell. When things that have been sleeping for millennia are beginning to stir. Guys, I don't know what Sarah J Maas puts in her books, but her books are always phenomenal. Like, I don't care what anyone says, her books are always phenomenal for me. So I cannot wait to read that one. And so this one, The House of Earth and Blood, it says the deadliest power, the fiercest passion, the cruelest fate. Bryce Quinlan and Hunt Athalar are trying to get back to normal. They may have saved Crescent City, but with so much upheaval in their lives lately, they mostly want a chance to relax, slow down, figure out what the future holds. The XIII have kept their word so far, leaving Bryce and Hunt alone, but with the rebels chipping away at the XIII's power, the threat the rulers pose is growing. As Bryce, Hunt, and their friends get pulled into the rebels' plans, the choice becomes clear: stay silent while others are oppressed, or fight for what's right. And they never been very good at staying silent. In this sexy action-packed sequel of the #1 New York Times bestseller, House of Earth and Blood, Sarah J. Maas weaves a captivating story of a world about to explode and the people who will do anything to save it. How many pages is this one? This one is thicker than House of Earth and Blood, but this one is 798 pages. Oh my gosh. I just know, guys, if you guys cannot tell, I am like anticipating so much in that book, in those books. Like, I cannot wait. But Throne of Glass, the synopsis of that one, it says, in a world without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She comes not to kill the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass, but to win her freedom. If she defeats 23 killers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she will be released from prison to serve as the king's champion. Her name is Selena Sardothian. I think that's how you say it. The crown prince will provoke her, the captain of the guard will protect her, and a princess from a faraway land will befriend her, but something evil dwells in the castle and it's there to kill. When her competitors stay dying one by one, Selena's fight for freedom becomes a fight for survival and a desperate quest to root out the evil before it destroys her. So, and like I said, this is over like how many books? 8 books. So this is over like 8 books, that story, and I'm so ready. I cannot wait. I feel like this year I am just gonna like finish all of Sarah J. Maas's backlist, because I do have all of her books. So I think I may like try to do that as a goal, is to try to read all her books, because like I said, I want to read Throne of Glass. I want to read that entire series. I definitely want to read the 2 Crescent City books before the 3rd one comes out next year. And then I only have 2 more books in the XIII series, which Court of Frost and Starlight is a very thin book because it's only a novella. And then A Court of Silver Flames, I just already know. I read A Court of Wings and Ruin. I read that in like 2 days. So I'm like, and I know the 5th one, The Silver Flames, focus on Nesta and Cassian. So we'll see how I like that one, which I don't doubt I'm gonna love it. Like, I know I'm gonna love it. But yes, needless to say, that is all the books that I want to read for 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if any of these books are on your 2023 like book list, TBR, however you want to call it. But yeah, let me know. And if you have read these books, let me know what you guys think about it. I've rambled on long enough. I have got tongue-tied so many times in this video, but I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And the awkward silence. But yes, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.